Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, new details have come to light about the man police questioned in Amanda Stevenson's disappearance. We'll tell you what we're learning as we dig deeper in the case. And Rosalynn Carter has made it to her final resting place. Family and friends gathered to say their final goodbyes and later to rest in her hometown. We have the story. Turning now to 30 Rock, America is celebrating the lighting of the Rockefeller Christmas tree for the 91st time. We have the details on when you can catch the tree in all its glory.
And we're expecting to maybe see some severe thunderstorms this afternoon. We'll have the what, why, and when coming up in the weather.
4 Victoria West athletes are heading to different states to play at the next level. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 30th day of November 2023. The time is now 6:31 on our Thursday morning and it is Cities for Life Day. So I've lived in a few major cities, Houston and St. Paul, Minnesota, and Minneapolis, which are connected by a bike highway. It's pretty cool.
What? That's pretty cool, actually.
It's pretty fun, but I really love the laid-back lifestyle here in Victoria.
Yes. I'm from the Dallas area, and it's actually a giant area in Dallas, but I love here in Victoria.
Yeah, nice and quiet.
Yes, very, very nice and quiet, very lovely town.
All right, Parker, well, is it going to be quiet for us weather-wise today?
No, actually it's going to be, in fact, the exact opposite, Carolina. We might see some pretty torrential, severe thunderstorms this afternoon. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Because if you're all waking up this morning, if you're just tuning in, you're looking at a live look at North Victoria, whereas, as you can see, some of that haze on the screen is some of that's actually a little bit fog, a little foggy out there. Nothing crazy, though, because we got a temperature of 77, but with a dew point only 1 degree off in the temperature. Got a 97% humidity, so some areas might see some dense fog. Not dense, but some fog, patchy fog. So please be careful if you see any out there on the roads this morning. We're going to be warming to a pretty nice day today. Going to be probably the low to mid 70s today, but that's not going to be the big talk. The big talk today is some severe weather. As we take a look at what was issued by the National Weather Service and the Storm Protection Center, they got a level 3 out of 5 risk for the Houston area, especially for tornadoes. That is their main risk in the area, which is pretty rare to have a risk higher than hail and wind. But as we zoom in here on the crossroads, about half of Victoria County is under the gun for that level 2 out of 5 risk for tornadoes. But Jackson, Lavaca, Warren, and Matagorda are all definitely under the gun this afternoon. As we take a look at this details for the what and when, probably thinking the timing and probably those thunderstorms will start developing around noontime, maybe late morning, ending by 10 p.m. tonight is when they'll finally be out of our area. But isolated tornadoes are the main risk associated with this. Please be careful and weather aware. Keep your phone ringers on. If there is a tornado in your area today, the safest place to be is in the most center room part of your house. If you're in an apartment, probably your bathtub if it's the most center room as well. Well, we're going to take a look at that live radar here. We've got a couple weak showers really just on the immediate coastline right now, but other than that, pretty quiet. But we are expecting those showers to really start developing in our whole area by late this morning. To take a look at the future tracker here, probably about 10, 11 a.m. this morning. We can see those showers really start becoming more widespread, more developed in the morning, late morning rather. But going into the afternoon hours when that sun really starts heating up the land, as you can see, you're going to get a quick little clearing area. That's going to heat up the land, giving us plenty of thunderstorm chances, especially on the eastern half of our area. And coming up a little, we're going to take a look at why the severe weather is happening. We'll take a look at that nice weather come this weekend and next week, and we'll take another look at the storms coming this afternoon. For now, back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. The family of Amanda Stevenson and the Victoria community want answers in her death. The county coroner has performed an autopsy on a body believed to be Stevenson, but has yet to release the results as they're still pending. As we dig deeper into the investigation, we're learning more about the man who authorities question in her disappearance. 45-year-old Kevin Bennetson. Bennetson took his own life during a traffic stop with Victoria Police last Wednesday. We're learning he used to work as an accredited elementary school teacher. His LinkedIn profile shows he also once worked as a parole officer. Stevenson disappeared last Tuesday. Police believe they found her body this week near Patriot Park. An 18-year-old Wharton man is dead following a botched robbery attempt late Monday night. The Wharton Journal-Spectator reports Max Sanchez was pronounced dead at the hospital after he was shot by a suspect using an AR-15. Multiple people later confessed to organizing a robbery with Sanchez to steal vape pens. Wharton County authorities and the Texas Rangers are investigating the case. Formal bids to become the City of Victoria's next mayor have begun to trickle in. Now in the running for the seat is District 2 Council member Josephine Solis. The city has called a special election that'll take place on February 3rd of next year. The city's current mayor, Jeff Bouknight, will resign from the position as he now has plans to run for state representative in District 30. His bid comes after longtime incumbent Jeannie Morrison decided to not seek re-election. Carissa Winters has also entered her bid for mayor of Victoria. She considers herself a leader of the community. Mayor Bouknight will retain all mayoral privileges and responsibilities until a new mayor is voted in. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you plan to vote in the mayoral election? Okay, someone sent me a message and reminded me you can only vote in the mayoral election if you live in the city limits. I'm going to verify that, but it sounds about right. And I also have to remember not all of you live in the city of Victoria. There's those of you who live in the surrounding area. So let's keep that in mind with this question we asked you guys. Okay, do you plan to vote in the mayoral election? So 62% of you say yes and 38% of you say no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. Family and close friends said their final goodbyes to former First Lady Rosalynn Carter on Wednesday. The Carter's home church in Plains, Georgia held her funeral services after Carter passed away last week at the age of 96. Former President Carter, who went into hospice care in February, attended the service. The Carter's children, grandchildren, and pastor shared moving eulogies about Rosalynn's life, including her dedication to service and advocacy. Following the funeral, the former First Lady was laid to rest in a private graveside ceremony. And speaking of ceremonies, the 91st celebration of the Rockefeller Christmas tree lighting took place in New York City. The tree lighting celebration became a tradition after workers at the Rockefeller Center first pulled their money together to buy a 20-foot tall balsam fir in December 1931. This year's Norway spruce tree stands 80 feet tall and 43 feet wide. It's decorated with over 50,000 color LED lights, and its crown is a 900-pound Swarovski crystal star designed by architect Daniel Libeskind. The Rockefeller tree will be lit daily from 5 a.m. until midnight, January 13th, with the exception of Christmas Day, when it will remain illuminated for 24 hours. And on New Year's Eve, when it will be on from 5 a.m. until 9 p.m. And here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. Calhoun County's community got to voice their opinions on the construction of a pier during a special workshop. And Calhoun High School Scene Stealers performed the Brothers Grimm Spectaculation on November 17th, and that left the audience wanting more. Plus, Magnolia Beach Volunteer Fire Department is expected to receive a new station. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:38 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Marvel Studios may look at releasing less movies in the next couple of years.
Breaking overnight, a new ceasefire deal reached in the Middle East. I'm ABC's Justin Finch in Washington with more on the new truce between Israel and Hamas.
And coming up after the break, we'll take a look at that school bus forecast. We'll take a look at your allergy report, and later on in Sunrise, we'll take a look at the severe thunderstorms coming our way. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all waking up with us this morning, if you're just tuning in, look at a live look at Aquaria, where it looks like that fog is slowly kind of trying to get out of the picture here. Not really as foggy as it was just a couple of minutes ago, but if you're waking up there, it's about 64. Pretty nice morning this morning. But with a dew point of 63, just 1 degree off, might still maybe see some patchy areas of patchy fog. So please be careful if you do see any on the roads this morning. And if you're going to send your kiddos off to school this good morning, it's going to be about 65 as we're heading out the door, with maybe some scattered showers hanging out in the area, but not much going on right now. We'll take a look right here in just a second. But as I head back home in the afternoon, about 3-4 p.m., 75 is the afternoon high. Pretty nice day today, but not so nice with the severe thunderstorms we might see this afternoon and take a look at that later. But like I said, looking at that live radar right now, we've got maybe a couple of weak little clouds coming into our area here in the crossroads. But if you zoom out here, most of the really weak showers are along the immediate coastline right now this morning. And if you look at your allergy report, not going to be too bad in terms of allergies. Only got ragweed pollen is a little low, but the grass and trees are non-existent. Here in the crossroads, it's going to be really nice though for the next week, and it'll be staying in the beautiful 70s for a solid week or so. But we do have an alert day with those severe thunderstorms today. We'll take a look at that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. 4 Victoria West athletes have signed to compete at the next level. We'll tell you where they're going in sports.
At Crossroads, 4 athletes signed their letter of intent. 3 will be heading outside of the Lone Star State, and 1 will be about 7 hours northwest of here. The gym was packed with friends, family, and classmates of the 4 student athletes that will be heading to college next fall to compete at the next level. Of the 4 signees, 2 are heading to play college softball. 1 is going to be golfing at the next level, while 1 will be competing in the pool. We start with one of the stars from softball. Lily Chavez will be heading 7 hours to Odessa to be a catcher/outfielder for the UT Permian Basin Falcons. Her teammate, Grace Weiler, will be heading a little further north, about 15.5 hours in total, to Colorado School of Mines. Another Lady Warrior is heading out of state, but this one is heading east. Harper Edwards will be golfing at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. And lastly, Victoria West swimmer Shelby Travis is going to be spending most of her time on the campus of Henderson State University. That's your 25 Sports Now.
Thank you, Gino. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now to breaking news in the Middle East, where Israel and Hamas have agreed to extend their 6-day ceasefire by 1 more day. The new deal is expected to lead to the release of more hostages kidnapped from Israel in exchange for imprisoned Palestinian women and teens.
Breaking overnight, Israel and Hamas extending their fragile truce for 1 more day. The Qatari Foreign Ministry helping to broker the down-to-the-wire deal, announcing this latest ceasefire was extended under the same terms as the past one. 10 Israeli hostages for 30 imprisoned Palestinian women and teenagers. On Wednesday, Hamas releasing 16 more hostages taken from Israel, including 49-year-old dual American-Israeli citizen Liat Benin. President Biden, who is working personally to free more Americans, saying he's spoken with Benin's family.
I talked with her mother and father. They're very appreciative, and things are moving well.
Benin's sister Tal speaking to ABC's Matt Gutman.
Until we got the final okay that she really was amongst the people that were returned, then I could finally breathe, take a deep breath.
Benin, a mother of 3, was kidnapped from her kibbutz along with her husband Aviv, who remains missing. Benin, now the second U.S. hostage released so far. The U.S. says at least 8 more are still missing. It's unclear who is holding them or where. The family of 23-year-old Hirsch Goldberg is holding out hope for his release. His father saying U.S. officials have been supportive.
But we are not getting any concrete information, certainly not at a personal level, about Hirsch, our son, from the U.S.
In Gaza, the truce extension will allow more aid into the ravaged territory. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is now in Israel, where he says the U.S. will focus on extending the ceasefire to free more hostages and get more aid into Gaza. Blinken also expected to meet with Palestinian President Abbas. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Authorities arrested a Victoria County man in DeWitt County. 39-year-old Byron Holland was taken into custody for a violation of his probation in Victoria County. Holland faces an assault with a deadly weapon charge. He's in the DeWitt County Jail in lieu of a $50,000 bond. A human smuggling suspect is in the Wharton County Jail. 36-year-old Monica Rubio of Houston was transferred from Harris County after she violated her bond conditions. Rubio was originally arrested on human smuggling charges in May of last year at U.S. Highway 59 and Wharton County Road 231. Rubio's in custody in lieu of a $30,000 bond. And here's a look at some of the top headlines you'll see in the Courier Record. The DeWitt County Commissioners Court met Monday. DeWitt County has a new AgriLife extension, 4-H agent, and Courier football ends in the third round of the playoffs. You can read these stories and more at thequerorecord.com. And the time is now 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Still to come, a North Carolina man is dead after a shootout with police Wednesday. Okay, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy 18th birthday to Joaquin. You're now ready to be a peacock and spread your feathers, but don't get too crazy. We love you.
And three-time Emmy nominee Kaylee Cuoco is 38 today. Happy birthday, Kaylee. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on More, and under home you see KAVU to submit your birthday.
And the time is now 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
Yes, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all waking up this morning, or if you're just tuning in, we're expecting to maybe see some severe weather this afternoon. Let's take a look at what's going on here. This is issued by the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center. They've got a level 3 out of 5 risk for the Houston area for tornadoes is that main risk in the area. But here in the Crossroads, as we zoom in here on our little avocado shape, as Carolina likes to call it, we're still under the gun about a level 2 out of 5 risk for here, about half of Victoria County. But Jackson, Lavaca, Wharton, and Matagorda are all under the gun for some severe weather this afternoon. Let's take a look at those details. The timing of that, probably think of those thunderstorms are going to start developing in the late morning hours, probably about noontime maybe. Ending around 10 p.m. is when they'll finally be out of our area. But the main risk associated is isolated tornadoes. That is the main risk, not wind and hail. It's actually a higher risk than the wind and hail, which is pretty rare to have tornadoes at a higher risk. And so please be careful today. And actually, for those that were wondering, the best place to be if there is a tornado that comes your way is the most centermost room part of your house. So if you're in an apartment, most centermost room, and that as well, maybe the bathroom or so, probably the best, most safest place for you. And we'll take a look at why we're seeing all this severe weather, because it's late fall, like almost winter time, right? Well, there's an lower level low. It's deepening up in the panhandle right now, strengthening that low level jet, giving us those southerly winds out of the Gulf. And as you take a look at those winds, going to be really strengthened up to probably about 20, maybe 15 to 20 mile an hour sustained, but gusting up to 30, bringing in all that moisture and all that energy for those thunderstorms coming this afternoon. Coming up a little bit, we'll take a look at that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Marvel Studios just clocked its worst movie debut ever with the release of The Marvels. That's prompting Disney CEO Bob Iger to shift his attention to the production house. In a wide-ranging New York Times interview Wednesday, Iger says turning around the entertainment giant is his #1 priority. He says the focus should be on making a few good films rather than many that aren't high quality. The company is currently working on franchise sequels, but Iger says Disney will only greenlight ones worth telling. Iger also touches on other issues facing Marvel Studios, like moviegoers expecting films to quickly move from theatrical release to streaming platforms. An upcoming film highlighting the beginnings of the Trump family dynasty just hired its lead actor. Sebastian Stan has reportedly been cast to play a young Donald Trump in the film titled The Apprentice. Pam and Tommy star will be joined by Maria Bakalova, who will play Ivana Trump. Actor Jeremy Strong will portray Roy Cohn, the lawyer and fixer who Trump considered a mentor early in his career. A synopsis says the film is an exploration of power and ambition set in a world of corruption and deceit. A release date is not confirmed. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. The baby who was inside a stolen car in Delaware was found, but the suspect in the car are still missing. A North Carolina man is dead after a shootout with police Wednesday. The Kannapolis Police Department says the 33-year-old man went to a house to have sex with who he thought was a 15-year-old girl, but it was a setup as part of an investigation into child sexual predators. While trying to arrest him, he resisted and took out a gun and started shooting. Police say they returned fire, hitting the suspect who died at the scene. No officers were hurt. The officers involved are on administrative leave, and that's what we know so far. The baby who was inside a stolen car in Delaware was found, but the suspect and the car are still missing. Police say the suspect dropped the child off at a liquor store in Philadelphia. They say she was left on the step outside the store. The Newcastle County Police in Delaware issued an Amber Alert after they say a car was stolen with a child inside Wednesday night at Newark. The car is described as a silver Nissan Altima Gray with a Delaware registration and has damage to the rear passenger door. The alert says the car was left running and a man dressed in a gray hoodie, black jacket, and camo pants jumped in the driver's seat and drove away with a child in the back. The suspect originally exited another vehicle, possibly a black Nissan Rogue or a Mazda 6, before stealing the victim's vehicle. Authorities in Nevada are hoping new images created in an FBI lab will help identify a man whose remains were found at Lake Mead last year. The man seen in the newly released spatial approximation images died from a gunshot wound. His body was found in a barrel at Hemingway Harbor at Lake Mead in May of 2022. 4 sets of remains were found in various areas at Lake Mead last year. Authorities say the other 3 victims are identified. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Clark County Coroner's Office. Goliad County's Cristo Rey Cemetery was approved as a distinguished historical cemetery. The Goliad Advance Guard reports the cemetery has 28 unmarked graves. Before more burials can be performed, Goliad County has to locate buried bodies in the cemetery that are in unmarked grave sites. The 4th annual Nativity exhibit is on display in Port Lavaca at the Red Barn at 3187 Street, Highway 35. The free event includes hundreds of nativities of all sizes and shapes from around the world. Some of them are made out of spaghetti, cookies, wood, foil, and they even date back to the 20s. The hustle and bustle of the holidays can be slowed down to the true meaning of Christmas when in the presence of these scenes.
I just want everybody to come see for themselves what we have here. I think they'll be pleasantly surprised. It's definitely worth the drive to get out and come over here and see what we have.
The exhibit started the Friday after Thanksgiving and will be open Friday, Saturday, and Sundays through December 10th from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, the exhibit will be open from 5 p.m. until 8 p.m. and they will even be open during the day for special groups and schools. Federal appellate judges question a new Texas law on school library regulations during a hearing Wednesday. The new challenge to the new rules was brought by book vendors who argue the law is unconstitutionally broad and vague. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today. Plus, you can find it on your connected TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And now we have time for a look at our forecast with Parker. Parker, rain, rain, rain.
Rain, 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 Carolina. That's the talk today because we're expecting maybe some severe rain. If you believe that, and take a look. We got issued an alert day today because the National Weather Service has issued a level 3 out of 5 risk for parts of Houston and a level 2 out of 5 for Jackson, Lavaca, Wharton, and Matagorda counties. The thunderstorms are probably going to start developing around the late morning, ending by 10 p.m. The main risk is isolated tornadoes today. That's pretty rare. But let's take a look at the live radar right now. Just a couple weak showers along the immediate coast, but other than that, pretty quiet. But those showers will start developing and become more widespread in the late morning hours. Like I said, if you take a look at your future track here, look at all these showers and thunderstorms, especially on the east, to really start to develop as we go into the afternoon hours today. But please be careful and stay safe and be weather aware today. And here at the Crossroads, it'll be a nice, beautiful weather for about a week or so. We got an alert day today with those thunderstorms, but over the next week, we're going to be in the 70s, bringing back that beautiful weather to our area.
I'm excited for this rain, but hopefully it's not, too dangerous out there for anyone.
Oh, I hope not. I really hope y'all stay weather aware. It's going to be a pretty nasty day today.
Well, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Thursday. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join James, Dawn, Matt, Karina, and Gina today for 25 News Now at 5 and 10.